One thing that's useful to understand about how text formats work is when they modify the content that's input into the text area. So let's create a piece of content. I'm going to go to Content, Add Content, and Basic Page, and we'll call this Delete Me. And for the text format, we'll leave it as basic HTML. Now if we add some text, we can use the buttons up here to alter the text in some way. So I'm going to select some text and click the bold button, and you can see that it changed. If we save this and publish it, we'll see our bolded text. Now let's edit this, and now let's add some HTML that isn't allowed. So I'm going to go to the source, and we'll add an underline tag. So I'm going to do a U, and I'll add the ending tag here. So with source, we're just editing the HTML source directly. So now let's save it, and you don't see the underline. So the question is, did that underline get removed when we saved the content, or did it get removed as the content was being displayed? And the answer is that it was removed when it was displayed. In the database, it got saved with that underline tag still in it. But this gets a little tricky because if we click Edit and we look at our code, the underline is gone. If we click Source, there's no underline code in here anymore. Now this is happening because the Wysiwyg itself is stripping out that content when this page is loaded. If we changed the text format to restricted HTML, we'd see our underline HTML here. So it's still in there. I'm going to refresh the page just to pull this back up with the basic HTML text format enabled. And now what will happen is if we click Save and keep published, we're going to save it without that underline tag. I'll click it, and now let's edit it again. And if we change to restricted HTML, our underline tag has been removed. The reason it's valuable to understand this dynamic is that especially if you have multiple people working with different pieces of content and each of them have access to different text formats, you can inadvertently lose some of the markup that you create. Not because Drupal will strip it out as the content gets saved, but the Wysiwygs could end up stripping it out as the content is loaded into the edit form.